On the far side of yesterday, there was an old man who slept beneath the stars, outdoors, just beyond the city gates, because he loved the countryside. He had no need for things. Each day, he would sit, and in the late springtime, he would listen to the sounds of the birds. He would listen to the buzzing of the bees around him. He would smell the beautiful wild flowers growing in the meadow. And he smelled the scent, the rich scent of the fresh turned earth. Now, each morning, when he arose, he turned and sat cross-legged, facing toward the east, waiting on the sunrise. But he got up long before the sunrise because he would sit and watch, just waiting for the sky to show that mysterious light. It was so mysterious each day. He loved to watch it. And before that sun would ever show its face, he loved to watch the reds, the yellows, and the oranges that often appeared in the clouds and in the sky. He would wait until that sun actually showed its face above the mountaintop. Then he would quietly close his eyes and say his prayers. Then he would do his private devotions. And then would sit quietly, listening to the silence and to the sounds of nature around him. One day he noticed the beautiful apple blossoms. Those beautiful blossoms were in bloom. But one day, one particular day, as he had finished his prayers and his devotions, the silence was suddenly broken by the rushing of footsteps behind him. He slowly turned and stared right into the eyes of a young man dressed in rags. Their eyes locked for a long second. The young man was so excited. He said, "Please, please, wise old man, could you tell me? I just had a dream last night that I found a wise old man here in the countryside. And that wise old man gave me the most precious stone." The old man sat silent for a moment. Then he lowered his head, leaned forward and reached into the grass and picked up a huge ruby the size of his fist. And then he spoke. Is this what you're looking for? This ruby? This stone I found so long ago, I have no idea where I found it, but I have no need for it, son. Here, it's yours. Take it. The young man took the stone into his hands, and he was so excited, he was trembling. He was trembling, and the old man could tell this was no beggar. He was a working peasant, for he could see the stains on the young man's hands. The young man thanked the wise old man, and he rushed away, went home to his meager little cabin, and sat there in the doorway all day long, turning that stone over and backwards and forwards, rolling it from one hand to the other. The sun shone and sparkled on the smooth surfaces of that ruby. The young man was so excited, while he had never held more than 5 cents in his pockets at a time. He didn't know what it was like to hold such a valuable stone. He was so tired and worn out from the excitement that he retired early that evening, but he could hardly sleep. Maybe he slept for 2 hours, if even that. And then he awoke before sunrise, just like the old man. He got up and dressed and went on his way out to the countryside to work. And on his way, he passed that old man. And as he did, he stopped And he reached down into his pocket and he pulled out that precious ruby. And he reached out and he gave it back to the old man. And he said, I don't want this. I want what you know that made you give it away to me. And may we be so wise. The ruby. An old folk tale.